lot of fun to play on the guitar, and it really could hardly be simpler. We've got 3 chords. Well, there's another chord that creeps in at the end of the chorus, but essentially we've just got 3 chords. 2 simple sections, a verse and a chorus. There's a bit of intro and a little interlude in the middle that just steals something from the intro, so no new material there. It does go quite quickly, and it's in a very odd key. That's the only thing. We're in the key of F sharp major. At least that's where Dolly originally recorded it. That doesn't suit anyone unless you're a vocalist and that's your range, which it definitely isn't for me. I'm going to have to sing it right down there. Never mind. So if you want to play this in the original key, and you're under no obligation, but if you were to, you could play it with the capo on the 2nd fret as if in E. That's almost better than what I've got, which is the capo on the 4th fret playing in D. E is a bit of a bigger, grander sound on the guitar. I'm limited to the top 4 strings if I want to play the bass note here on a D chord. It's just that later on I want to emulate some of the bass line of the original, and that's going to be easier if we've got the capo here playing as if in D. All right, let's get started. We've got 4 beats in the bar, and it's about 100 beats a minute, so it's quite quick. What I'm going to do in terms of strumming, we'll look at this straight away, is play something very simple, and then I'm going to kind of layer that with some 16ths. So let's see how this works. So on a D chord, I'm going to play the bass note, which would be the open 4th string, on the 1st beat. On the 2nd beat, I'm just going to strum down over the chord. I might play all of the chord, or I might just aim for the very top strings to get a bit of contrast between the bass and the treble there, but essentially 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't sound like much yet, never mind. We've got a chord of G in this song, and there I would pick the 6th string and then strum. You can hear much more easily the contrast between the bass and the treble when we've got a 6th string chord. Anyway, 6th string for G. And we've also got an A7, so I'd pick the 5th string there. Okay, that's very much a kind of country style strumming. Picking that bass note just gives us a bit of definition at the beginning of the chord, creating a little bit of more of a crisp rhythm. But now what I want to do is just loosen in the beginning of the song, for instance, and this sense of 16ths is quite strong throughout. But if you listen carefully, there's a kind of woodblock and bell thing which emulates a typewriter. It wasn't until yesterday when I was putting together a backing track for this, and I realised that's what that was. But it's that kind of a thing. So I'm just going to do that with my hands. I'm not going to change the strumming pattern at all, but I'm just going to have that going. So it's... So you can see we're just getting a bit more detail in the strumming. I'm not really thinking about that right hand beyond the original strumming pattern that we had a moment ago. Stumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch, try to come alive. That kind of a thing. Okay, so that strumming is going to stand us in pretty good stead for the whole of the song. And now the chords themselves. We have, in the verse, 8 bars. A bar of D, tumble out of bed, I stumble to the kitchen. A bar of G, pour myself a cup of ambition. Back to D, yawn and stretch, try to come to life. A7, that's halfway through. The second half begins the same way, a bar of D and a bar of G. Jump in the shower, the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping with. Now, it's back to D for half a bar. Folks like me on the A7 for half a bar. Job from 9 to 5, and back to D again. So that's it. It's very much like a folk song, really, that structure. Let's have that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tumble out of bed, I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch, and try to come to life. Jump in the shower, the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets, the traffic starts jumping. With folks like me on the job from 9 to 5 to working 9, and we're into the chorus. Now the chorus is again very simple. We've got 2 bars of G now, back to 2 bars of D. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving, made just use your... Now we're back to G again for 2 bars. Use your mind and they never give you credit. It's now here's our only other chord, E7 for a bar. Enough to drive you, A7 for a bar. Crazy if you let it. Okay, in fact the chorus goes round twice, but you've got the idea of that now. And if you wanted to, just to give it a slightly more bluesy feel, because that is in the song, we could make that G into a G7. 9 2 5, it's even 9 2 5, it's in the melody there. G7 like this. Or if you were strumming and that's quite bright up there and you wanted to avoid the top string but still wanted to get a sense of G7, try this. Little finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. My 2nd and 3rd fingers are still down there on the 2nd and 3rd frets of the bottom 2 strings. 9 2 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. Okay, so without having to go all the way up to that top string to hear the difference between G and G7, I can put my little finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string and I'm getting the 7 of G7 that way. All right, the whole of the chorus. 9 2 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taken and no given, they just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 2 5, and that just repeats with different lyrics, but essentially it's the same thing. Now, a couple of details if you want it. As we go into bars 7 of the chorus, we've had our 2 bars of G7. Use your mind and they never give you credit. We get this, boom, 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 down to E7. That's what the bass does. So I'm playing the 3rd fret of the bottom string for my G chord, and then I'm going to go down fret by fret, 3, 2, 1, okay, which means I need to start my run on 3 and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, and 4, and so the G is on the and, 2nd fret on the 4, 1st fret on the and then I'm going to get down to my E7. Use your mind and they never give you credit, it's enough to drive you. Okay, now also there's a bass line, it's in octaves on the original. Much lower, 2 octaves lower than that, but that's the idea. But I'm going to play just the lower of those pairs of notes on E7 on each beat. The open 6th string, then the 2nd fret, then the 3rd fret, then the 4th fret. It's enough to drive you. And if you can kind of keep just that 1st finger going on the 3rd fret, on the 3rd string 1st fret there while you're doing that, that gives you a little bit of something in the top end, but really you might just play an E7 and then not only worry about the bass. That's on the E7. It's enough to drive you. And we've got a similar thing for A7 on the 5th string. Crazy if you let it. So that's open 5th, 2nd fret on the 5th, 3rd fret and 4th fret. Okay, the 2nd half, this is as detailed as we're going to get, I reckon. 2nd half of the chorus, and I'll try and put all of that in. Use your mind, and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 2 5. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to try and give that a hefty A7 at the beginning of that bar, and then keep climbing. You know, that's the idea. As I say, the chorus goes twice. Then we have a little interlude, which is the same as the intro. So let's look at the intro now. The intro is originally on the octaves in the left hand of the piano, and then the bass is dum 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 dum. And it's a D for me. I mean, that's naff. My D is effectively, well, it's an F sharp, but it's the 4th fret of the 4th string. It's already quite high. I can't help that. It's not very bright. But I do want something like that. That's the sound we're after. So I'm going to mute with my palm, and I'm actually going to play the 5th fret of the 5th string rather than the open 4th string for my D. That just gives me a little bit more of a mellow sound. I mean, it's a bit daft playing it up. You can see how far up the guitar I am for my bass line here, but that's it. 5th fret, half beats, so I've got 8 of those in the first bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and much like that thing getting into E7 we had in the chorus. The last 3 quavers or 8ths are going to be 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and then it's back again. And that's a 2-bar figure, and we get 2 of those in the intro. That's how the song opens. Stumble out of bed, tumble to the kitchen. If I could get the lyrics right, it's tumble and stumble. All right, but that's it. That's how that works. Of course, you're free to play a chord there, which would probably be a D, or just leave it until we come in with the verse. But that's my conception. When we come out of the chorus, the first time out of the chorus, we get that as well. Use your mind, and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. To watch them shatter you just a step. So then we go into the second verse. So what happens effectively is we get 2 bars that are the same as that 4-bar thing in the intro. So we just get 1 of those. I think actually that's everything. I'm just racking my brains because I've been going for 12 minutes without a break. I haven't messed up yet, but I really think that's everything. I'm going to sort of sing this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But look, I've made a little backing track, so let's have a little playthrough. Thanks for watching. If you want to know what happens in terms of the form of the song, 4-bar intro, 1 verse, chorus, which repeats, different lyrics, back to the second verse after we have that little 2-bar interlude, and that second verse takes us back into the chorus, and the chorus then just repeats to fade with yet more lyrics. But that's it. Buy the song sheet, that helps me out, and you'll have everything clearly and beautifully laid out. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, and yawn and stretch and try to come alive. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. Out on the streets the traffic starts jumping, with folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, really getting by. It's all taken and no giving. They just use your mind, and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5, service and devotion. You would think that I would deserve a fair promotion. Wanna move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. Watch him shatter you just a step on the boss man's ladder, but you got dreams he'll never take away. In the same boat with a lot of your friends, waiting for the day the ship will come in. The tide's gonna turn and it's all gonna roll your way. Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living, barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind. They never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5, got you where they want you. There's a better life. You think about it, don't you? It's a rich man's game. No matter what they call